Hello, all my crafty friends, my crafty creator friends. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday. I hope everyone's having a good day. I got some fun stuff I think planned for us again today. So come on in. Let's have some fun crafting and creating. Let me put this away. Hello, Greg. Welcome, welcome. So let's do a few housekeeping items. If you see that red live box right up there in the corner, that means we're live. If you don't see it, no worries. Hit hashtag replay so that lets me know you were here and you were watching the video so I can say hi to you. As you come in, make sure you hit the thumbs up or hearts to let me know you're here. Hi, Kendra. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. For anybody who doesn't know, that's my daughter. So I love that she joins us as well on Saturdays. And a few other housekeeping items. I'm Christy, the owner of Uncommon Necessities. We have a brick and mortar store located here in 1700 Southeast Mile Hill Drive in Port Orchard, Washington. We have shop hours currently Thursday through Sunday. Thursday through Saturday is 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So that's a few housekeeping items. As you come in, make sure you hit the like and hearts button so I know you're here. Float those emojis. Hi, Miss Kay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Also, if you guys will do me a big favor, make sure you're liking and following our page. And then if you could share us out to the universe, that would be great so we can get more friends to join us for these fun Saturday crafting events. So I appreciate you guys joining me today. Still working on the camera angles a little bit. So I'm having to look up right now. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm reading comments. But I'm glad you guys could join me today. I have some fun. Fun planned. Is everybody having a good Saturday? I'm hoping is it sunny out? I'm hoping it's sunny out. Yay. I'm glad the sun is out. I hear it's chilly though. So make sure you stay warm and dry. Yes. Kendra came and visited me. And so did Miss Kay. I love it when people come visit. Yay. I love seeing you too, Miss Kay. It's always fun getting to see all my friends and all the things that they're working on. So if you're working on a project or finish some projects and want to share those out to our community here, I've created a creators page. So feel free to share your creations on that page. It's so all of us can see what you've been working on and maybe gain some inspiration from it. It's also a place that if you have questions about something, maybe a product you're using or something you're working on, feel free to post that as well. And we can get all our creative friends to put their minds together and help you maybe solve the problem. Hi, Miss Linda. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, check out the creators page. A lot of great content going on in there. I know a few of you have posted and it's been great. So take a look at that. I'm so glad you could join us today, Miss Linda. Thank you, thank you. All right. So as our friends come in, we'll kind of get them caught up, but I want to get us started. The first thing that I kind of wanted to go over was last weekend, if you remember, we did these little cute chickadees with the paint inlay that we have for Iron Orchid Design. And didn't they come out just adorable? So we did some in white and we did some in the lemonade yellow. And what I wanted to go over to make sure I'm clear on is how do you seal the paint inlay once you have it on your item? So let me show you how to do that pretty easily. And I'm going to angle you down here. And all I use is a 50-50 mix of, I use flat top coat, but you can use flat, satin, or glossy, doesn't matter. But I use a mixture of 50-50 flat top coat and water. And I put it in a spray mister bottle. So this is one of the fine misters we carry here in the store. And the easiest way to seal your project, because if you remember, the paint inlay is water-based paint. So if you were to just immediately after you do it, put a top coat on, you might risk smearing your paint inlay. So all I do is take the 50-50 mix and I just give it a little spritz. Now this is coming out a little heavier than I normally would use. But you just give it a spritz and that will seal your inlay. So then you can then either put another coat of top coat over top of it, or you can wax the piece. I got a little heavy with the spritz in here. There we go. Knocked a little of that off. But that's how I seal. So 50-50 flat top coat. Let it dry really good. And then you can go back in and apply another top coat layer, or you can apply your wax. And I've had some friends also suggest some other things that they use to seal their paint inlay. And I think, Kay, you mentioned you use a different product. What was the name? I forgot the name. Fix-It or Fix-It-In? No, that's dentures, isn't it? Fix-It-In is dentures. Don't use that. But I think it's called Fix-It. Kay was mentioning that. And it's another product that you just spritz on and you can seal your inlay. That way you're not brushing and smearing your paint inlay. Any questions on that? I just wanted to make sure that I gave you guys a really good solid answer on how to seal those. Fixative from Spectra Arts. Okay. Thanks, Miss Kay. So that's another alternative to sealing your paint inlay. Fixative, not Fix-It-In. Don't do that one. Fixative. Yeah, so you can use that or you can use the 50-50 mix, either way. But that'll give you a good seal on your paint inlay. So we'll just set this aside and let it dry. All right. Thanks for that tip too, Kay, because there's always multiple different types of products out there that can work for different things. So I appreciate that. I hope everybody's having a good Saturday. It's been kind of busy around the mall today, so that's good. All right. So the next fun project that I have in store is these cute little ceramic boots. Look at these. Aren't these adorable? They're just cute little ceramic boots. I got these at Target in their dollar spot, and they were, whoops, $3.
And he says don't use fixative on your dentures.
Yeah, don't use don't use the fixative on your dentures. Yeah, that's a good tip there, Miss Kay. Don't do that. That would be bad. And then don't use the Fix-It-In on your paint inlays. Too many things named Fix. All right. So use Fixative spray from Spectra Arts. There you go. But I got these cute little vases. They were only $3 each from Target. Aren't they cute? Now, the colors aren't horrible, but if you know me, I change things up. So we're going to change these boots up to a color that I think that more suit my taste. So these are things that you can do as well. When you find items, you might like the item, but maybe you don't like the color or the finish. You can always change that up. So we're going to do that today. So let me take these off. And what we're going to do is, I know, aren't these the cutest little boot vases? I just think they're so adorable. And these are sturdy little boot vases. I mean, I don't know if you can see, but I mean, you can see how thick they are. These are meant to last. So these are good little ceramic vases. So what we're going to use to paint these is, oh, and this is, just to go back real quick, this is what I used for my 50-50 spray mix to seal my paint inlays. So I used the Dixie Belle flat coat. All right, so to paint these, because they're shiny, we need to put, it's called Slick Stick. And what this is a primer that allows you to then chalk paint on top of it. So Dixie Belle sells it. It's Slick Stick, and it gives you a nice prime surface so then your chalk paints can adhere to it. So we're going to start with that. And then I thought it'd be kind of cute to paint one in a bright color, more bright color. So I'm probably going to use this lemonade. And I have some bad news to tell you, friends. I don't know if it's not focusing very well, but trust me, this is lemonade. There is about 10 paint colors in the Dixie Belle line that will be retiring in April. And I will put the full list on my Facebook page. But unfortunately, one of the colors that will be retiring is lemonade, which is one of my favorite yellows. So if you have any colors on that list of 10 that you want to make sure you get a stock up of, let me know and I will make sure I get it ordered for you. So you can have your stock to last as long as you can make it last. But yeah, there is about 10 colors on there, and one of them is the lemonade. So I do have some of these in stock currently. So if you want to grab one or two, I do have that. But if you want to order more than that, I can certainly do that for you. So look for the list. I'll put it on our Facebook page. So I'm going to paint one in the lemonade color. And then I thought it'd be kind of neat to try and paint one and see how it looks in drop cloth as a more neutral color. Now, what's going to really take this up another notch, I think, because, you know, paint is all good and stuff, but let's add some embellishments to it. And one embellishment I'm going to add to it is the Dewdrop Pond mold from Iron Orchid Design. So duck egg is not on that list. That was one of the first ones I looked for. It is not on the list, so we're good. Duck egg is going to stay around. Vintage duck egg is going to stay around for a bit. So that one is not on the list. But we're going to put one of these molds on each of our boots. Now we might put more than one, but we're going to put at least one. So I thought it would be fun to do one in the brighter colors with some color with the lemonade and some color for the mold. And then the other one would be do in a more neutral color with drop cloth, and then painting the mold in drop cloth and using the wax as more of the definer of the mold. So let's give that a shot, shall we? Assistant, there is one thing I forgot. My lovely assistant over here. Can you give me the chocolate chalk paint? I think is there. Okay, so let's get us started with the Slick Stick. And then, of course, with any of our molds, we always use cornstarch. And then I will be using the Iron Orchid Design Air Dry Clay. And then to put it on our boot, I will be using Type Bond Quick and Thick. I know, right? I was a little worried when I first scanned the thing. I said, please don't let vintage duck egg be on there. Okay, let's shake this up real good. And let's see if I can get my jar open. Hang on just a minute, friends. Let me. You don't see me doing what I'm doing, so don't pay attention to that. I might need a little assistance on that jar. See, this is what happens when you paint out of your jar instead of pouring your paint onto something. Is I tend to seal my jar lids on. Well, while he's working on that, how is everybody doing today? Anybody doing anything fun and exciting? Hey, honey, if you want, there's just a new jar right there. You can hand me. Might have to work on that one a little bit. Right in the bucket there. Okay. I know. I keep forgetting to get. Okay, put it on the list. I keep forgetting to get that press and seal. You are so right, Kay. Oh, I got to add it to the list. So I've told my assistant now. He's usually really good about remembering. So now that I've told him, just visiting you. You're so sweet, Kendra. Yes, I did get to see my little grandbaby today and my granddaughter. So that was a treat. That was a treat. I enjoyed that. Okay. All right, now we're in business, friends. So I'm just going to give these a quick coat of Slick Stick, and that'll give it that grip that it needs for the chalk paint to adhere to. And it doesn't have to be real pretty because remember, you are going to put chalk paint over top of this coat. So we just want to make sure we get a good layer on. It acts as your primer. And any surface that's slick or shiny, you really want to make sure you put Slick Stick down before you do your chalk paint. So metal, glass, things like that, ceramics. And that'll make sure that chalk paint really has something to grab onto. Okay. We do have another night market that will be coming up. I'm not sure of the exact date, but that'll be a lot of fun. This one's going to be a family themed event, and it says there will be activities, all sorts of vendors, and just a good time. I will come in later and paint the rest of that bottom. I just wanted to get these little indents here so we can get those covered. All right, so now looks like my boot is just about covered. And I plan on putting flowers inside, so I'm not terribly worried about the color on the inside. But you could certainly paint the inside of these. Now, Target has these, and they're only $3, so that's a good deal for a nice little flower base. Like I said, these are These are some sturdy flower bases too. I was quite impressed with how sturdy they are. All right. And this is such a great product to use. You can use it even if it's not for a slick surface as primer. So even if you don't have a slick surface, but you want a primer underneath it, you can certainly use that. Now we do have a different product called Boss, B-O-S-S, that is really good for stain blocking. So sometimes you get those pieces of furniture or even little chests, things like that, or shelving that maybe you want to repaint, but it has that very beautiful orange-like stain on it, and that stain will bleed right through your paint. That Boss, if you put the Boss on, will block that stain from coming through and wrecking your coat of paint. So it's a really great way to prime a piece that you have that might have some stain on it that you're worried might come through your paint. All right, so there we got that one done. So we're gonna give that a quick dry. Oh, I got some glomps of paint back here. Let me get that. Hang on, let me put a little bit more back here since I just wiped it off. There we go. Ah. My wet brush is pulling this off. So let me dry this up a little bit. And it could be, there might be a coating on here that I need to clean these first. So that's the other thing, is you want to make sure you clean your piece really well. If it's something you're redoing, every once in a while you will come across some pieces, which may be these vases, where there's some kind of oily coat on them that you can't see until you start painting your slick stick on. So you see how it's kind of pulling away from that boot. So I've given it a good dry. I'm going to try and put more slick stick on it. If it doesn't stick, then I'll need to wipe this boot down and make sure it's good and clean. There we go. Now it's sticking. My brush was just too wet. All right. Let's try that. Put the lid back on. But sometimes you'll get these new pieces from a store and they might have an oily slick on there and you won't know it because you can't really feel it until you go to paint it. And in that case, all you'll want to do is just give it a good clean, and then you shouldn't have any problem after that. But you want to make sure you get it good and dry on your shiny surface before you start painting with the chalk paint. I don't know if anybody else has gone to Target's dollar spot, but they have some cute items there. I got like this little bird cagey thing. These boots. They have these little cute little flower stands. They look like two-tiered flower stands. I don't know. If you get a chance to go to Target, take a look at their little dollar spot. They have some really cute items that you could customize to really fit for your decor. Fairly cheap, $3 and $5, so very inexpensive. Okay. I think we're dry now. All right, friends. Okay. Excuse me. Let's get our lemonade out. Let me put my mold to the side here somewhere. Oops. We're getting some new shops down here at the mall too. I don't know if you've heard about that. We're getting the Harbor Hot Dog shop coming in. And then we're getting a new pizza place called the Pizza Joint. So we're going to have some yummy pizza and hot dogs coming. So I'm pretty excited about that. Okay. Well, friends, I'm going to show you something. So if you see the toe of my boot, you see how it's separating? Can you see that? That means my slick stick is not sticking to my boot. And it's not sticking because there's something on the boot that's causing it not to stick. So what we need to do, and my assistant, if you ever so could, Greg, can you hand me that package of wipies? So we're going to wipe these down. See, this happens. This is real life, right, people? Real life, right, creator friends? There's something on the boot.
Hopefully wipies do, and you don't need just alcohol.
No, it's wipies.
Okay.
So you see how easy that's coming off? So the slick stick did not adhere to that part of the boot for some reason. So I'm going to try and give it a good clean and see if we can get it to adhere. But this happens sometimes, especially with these newer products. If are pieces that you buy, you may not know that there's some coat on it that you can't see that could be causing a problem. And so it's crazy though, isn't it? So we're just gonna wipe this off and try again. That's why it's really important when you get a piece of furniture or something you've bought from like Goodwill or a thrift store, is to make sure that you clean it really well before you you paint it, because you don't want your paint to easily come off. So, and I'm just giving it a rub and it's coming off. So we may only get one boot done today. That's okay. We'll do one. Okay. It seems like some of it's stuck pretty well, so may not have to take it all off. Okay. Let's see how well it's stuck back here. Yeah. Feels like it's stuck pretty good back there. Not so good here. So let's take that off. I know. Sorry, friends. All right. Yeah, let's see if we can make some progress here. Okay. All right. But just know if you see that slick stick starting to come up with the paint, it means that whatever's underneath the slick stick is causing the slick stick not to adhere. So the best thing to do is just to stop and then wipe it down and clean it and then try it again. So that's what we're going to do here. Let me make sure this side's good still. Yep, that side feels fine. Okay, good and dry. Let's try and put some more slick stick on. Has anybody else ever had that happen to them? If you've used slick stick before? Okay. Sometimes you don't always know what that finish is on something until you've tested it with painting. And just always listen to your paint. That makes sense. Let's see if we can get it to stick this time. All right. It's looking promising. Guess we'll see, huh? Okay. All right, let's try this again. It didn't happen to me when you used it on furniture. Good. So it shouldn't happen if you've done a really good, thorough job of cleaning your piece of furniture. Then you shouldn't have any issue at all. So that's great. It's really a great tool to help you get that chalk paint to adhere to a slick surface. So we'll give it a quick dry again and let's see if it'll work. Yeah, if you've cleaned your piece of furniture really well, and then put slick stick down, especially those with the shiny coat on them, then that's great because that means that your slick stick is adhering to the shiny surface. And we're going to cross our fingers and hope that now it'll stay on. Stay on our little boot. Okay. I think it's dry. All right. Let's try this again, friends. Let's try this again. Okay. You had it happen on glass. You always clean your furniture with clean slate before starting. Yeah. Yeah, the slick surface is like ceramic and glass. Sometimes, especially if you're buying them new from like Dollar Tree and things like that, they may have there may be a finish on there that is causing it to not stick. So just wipe it back down and then try and clean it and then try again. Oh, this may not. I may actually have to clean these with alcohol. This is not sticking. It's not sticking. Ah! See? We may not be able to paint these boots today, friends. Let me show you what I'm talking about. See how the paint's not sticking? It's pulling that slick stick right up. So I may, well, let's keep going. Maybe it's just that one spot. We're just going to keep chugging through here. Let's see. Seems like it's doing pretty good on the rest. May take 2 coats. So I would suggest that if you get these boots from Target, give them a good clean with some alcohol before you start painting them with slick stick. I did not do that. So I have learned a very important tip for today. Just pre-clean it with that alcohol. Okay. All right. So I'm going to let this one sit and dry, and then I am going to do the other color on the other one, and I'll see if I can somehow fix the side of this boot. We'll figure it out. But we'll let it dry first. Okay. So I have it painted yellow. Whoops. There we go. We're going to give it a chance to dry. And then let's paint the other one in burlap. Or not burlap, drop cloth. We're going to paint it in drop cloth. Okay. And I always wear paint. I don't know if you guys do too, but I have paint everywhere all the time. On my hands, in my hair. It just seems to be I'm always got paint everywhere. Okay, so this is drop cloth. It's such a pretty neutral color. Hopefully you can see that. It's such a pretty neutral color. And we're gonna give this one a try. Let's see, hopefully, fingers crossed, friends, that it works better on this boot. Seems to be. And I can tell we're going to definitely need 2 coats on this. This is such a pretty neutral color. Oops. Flip it around. Let's get the back side. I thought these will be really cute with some flowers in them and sitting up on a shelf or something like that. Let's get these little indents here. Like I said, I'll paint the bottoms once the top is all dry. I just want to get these little indents. Okay. All right, let's dry that one up. You use drop cloth more than any other color. Yeah, it's such a pretty neutral. I love buttercream is my other favorite neutral. Buttercream is such a pretty color too. It's a very light, you would think it would be kind of a yellow, but it's kind of more of a buttery beige. Very light. But drop cloth is so pretty. Look at these boots, aren't these cute? Just with some paint on them. It's turned it into such a cute little. Let's dry this one up. Hopefully I can cover this up with the second coat. We're gonna try. Okay. That looks pretty good. Okay, we're gonna go in for a second coat of the lemonade. Yeah, it's such a beautiful neutral. And these 2 boots together are so cute even. This yellow and I just love this lemonade color. I'm sad that it's going away, actually. It's such a pretty yellow. Okay, let's see if I can get it to stick over here on this side. No, so far so good. Not hating that. I can live with that. That's why I always say, just keep working with it, because paint is paint. You can always make it work. So just go over it with our second coat. Come up And give that a good second coat here.
Probably
Okay.
you don't want me to pick you up or you do?
All right. I think these are going to be so cute once I get the paint on them.
I'll let you know when I do it. Love you. Bye.
Oops, I keep smearing that. All right. That looks pretty darn good. Okay, let me throw a little bit more paint on here. Okay. Kind of glumpy there. I don't want it that glumpy. All right. There's our second coat. We'll let that one dry. Maybe I can get a little bit more paint over here. And I'm just using a real light hand just because I don't want to really stress that any more. There. You can't even tell it was there. It's all covered up. Okay, so that should be good for that boot. And then we'll put one more coat on of the drop cloth. You like it because it goes with, it does go with browns and grays, Kay. Yeah. That's why, yeah, you're right. It's such a good color because it just goes with so many. So we'll just kind of brush on the second coat here. Looking good. It's like a light taupe, I guess. That's what you would call it. A light taupe. But it does go with so many of the browns and the grays. All right. Almost done. Almost done. And then we get to do the fun stuff, which is put our molds on. There. I think that looks pretty good. Get all the spots that I missed before. Okay. Voila. There's our, isn't that pretty? Such a pretty color. Now, I was going to paint black on the soles, but I'm not sure that I want to put any. I was going to paint black. I don't know if you can see it, but there's an indent for the sole. I don't know if I want to. Should I put the black on there for the sole of the boot? What do you guys think? I'm not sure. I was thinking I'd do brown for this one and then black on the yellow. I think I like, yeah, I agree with you. I think I like the way they are too. They're just so cute already. Just a solid color. I think they, yeah. I think I'm going to leave them. I think I'm going to leave them, friends. I think you're right. Just leave them as is. Okay. So now we get to do the fun part. I was thinking of putting one of these molds on the toe of the boot and then one up here at the top. Oh, you can't see my boots. I'm going to put one on the toe for the yellow, and then I think I'm going to put a mold up here or maybe on the toe. I'm not sure yet which one. Let's see. So on the toe of the yellow, look at this cutie patootie frog right here. I think we're going to make that frog. So let me get my cornstarch. And then all you do is dust your mold with some of the cornstarch. Just like that. Make sure you get it good and dusted. And then you'll tap it out. So then it looks like that. Now this is their IOD's new spring release Dew Drop Pond. And it's so fun. Okay. Let's take a little hunk of that clay out. Now, because this is air dry clay, once you open the package, you want to make sure you seal it up either in a container or a plastic bag, so that way it doesn't dry out on you. So, I've got paint on my hands, which it should be fine. Okay, I probably don't need that much clay, so let me take some of that off. And then you're just going to press it right into your mold. Now, what's nice about the Iron Orchid Design molds is they have what they call this micro edge. And the micro edge allows you to easily pull the clay off to get a straight edge on your mold. The other thing that's great about these molds is you can use them for resin. You could even use them for food. Now, I wouldn't suggest using the same molds you use for resin for food, but they are silicone and you can use them for that. And they work well with resin, so if you prefer resin, they do work well for that. Okay. Get some of these little pieces out of there. Okay. And the detail in these new releases is just unbelievable how detailed these molds are. I'll show you here in a second. So I like to get my edges good and clean as best I can. It just saves me a little bit of work after I've made the mold. Okay, so I'm going to put my clay back in my container. Okay, all you do to take your mold out is you just turn it over and then you're going to roll it. You're going to kind of roll it back, being careful not to press down because you don't want to squish your mold, but you just roll it and then it releases. Oh my gosh, friends, look at this. Look at this frog. This is unbelievable. So cute. Look at the frog. Isn't that adorable? So I thought that this would look really cute on the toe of the boot. Let me show you. Isn't that cute? Okay, so all we have to do for that is to adhere him to the boot is to glue him down. So we'll put some Type Bond Quick and Thick glue on him. And this is a great glue because it adheres to a lot of surfaces. wood, plastic. This is all I used for my IOD molds when I use the air dry clay, and it works great. So you can use your finger, a little paintbrush, but you want to make sure you get that glue all the way to the edge. It does dry clear. You can get this at the hardware store, so it's not something you have to go and search for. It's pretty easy to find. And you just want to make sure you get that glue all the way to the edge. Just like that. And if a little bit squishes out on the sides when you put it down, it's fine because it will dry clear. Okay, let me put the little froggy on the boot. Oh my gosh, how cute is he? He looks like he's just sitting on the edge of the boot. Okay. Push all my little edges down. Make sure they're good and touching your surface. And like I said, if it comes out around it, it's okay because it does dry clear, so it'll be fine that it comes out around it. Look at him. Isn't he adorable? He's just sitting on the front of that boot. Okay, there's one. Now, I thought we would do another one to see what it looks like up on the upper section of the boot. I'm not sure which one to do. I thought the salamander might be kind of cute because you could kind of make it look like it's crawling up the boot. But then, I don't know, the dragonfly. Let's do the salamander. That's this one right here. And we'll make him look like he's crawling up the boot. Okay. Thanks, Kendra. I appreciate it. I think these will be so adorable. And then you just dust your mold, and then you take it out. And then I think these will be adorable. I have some flowers here, and I think we'll give it a try and see what they look like with some flowers in it. I think it's going to be cutimus. Cutimus. Okay. Let's put some clay in our mold. Give it a good push down there. Now, when I take and get the edges off, I always hold the back end or opposite end of where I'm pulling the clay from. So that way this doesn't lift out of the mold. So I'll hold the back end down gently, and then I'll pull the clay away. And then I always turn my molds to do the work. And so you kind of just press it back in there, and then I turn it and do the same thing, and I pull the clay away. Make sure I got the clay down in there for his little tail. And then, oh, there we go. And then let's see how this salamander came out. Pull the rest of that off. Now he's got little tiny arms, and so if you find that you're having a hard time getting them out of the mold with these really fine details, you can always put your molds with the clay in the freezer for about 20 minutes, and that freezes them up, freezes the clay up, and they're much easier to take out. So if you find that you struggle with that a little bit, just pop them in the freezer. Pop them in the freezer, take them out in about 20 minutes or so, and then it'll just pop right out of the mold for you. Easy peasy. Okay, let me put this clay back in my container. But there's times that I have to do that for certain ones. So I'm just rolling it back. And as I roll it back, I might have to use my finger to help it a little bit, which is fine. And then just keep rolling, and it will pop right out of the mold for you. All right, there we go. Here's our little salamander guy. Isn't that cute? Oh, you like the dragonfly? Well, I should have done the dragonfly then. Okay. Let me pop a little glue on this guy. Maybe. It's so thick that sometimes it doesn't want to come out. All right. I'm just gonna want to make sure you get glue all over his little fingers. And his little tail. Oh. Okay. Now let's put him on the boot. And we're going to make him look like he's crawling up the boot. This way you can see what I'm doing. Oh, I lost part of his tail. That's okay. So make sure you press all those little edges down. And his little head. Look, it looks like he's crawling up the boot. Isn't that cute? So cute. Oh my goodness. All right. Now, after about 10-15 minutes, you're going to want to make sure you come back and check it and give it another press down if some of it is popping up on the edges. But sometimes as it dries, it tends to pop up a little bit. So you just go in and give it another little press down and it'll be golden. Okay, I don't know what I did with my lid for that. Whoops. All right. So I'm just going to put a little bit of heat on these just to give them a little bit of a crust so we can paint them up. Typically, I wait about 24 hours to paint my molds, but you can paint them when they're still damp, and that's not a problem. You just want to be really careful about not using a lot of pressure so you don't distort your mold you just made. But you can certainly paint them when they're not dry. But I find that if I put a little heat on them, it gives them kind of a little crust on them, and it's just a little easier to paint. You think the gecko was the right choice? I think he is pretty darn cute. He is pretty darn cute. Now remember, air dry clay will crack if you dry it, especially if you dry it quickly. But if you want it to not crack as much, which is the beauty of air dry clay because it gives you that more vintage look, you can put a damp paper towel over top of your mold so it dries more slowly, and that will give you less cracking. So, all right, I'm going to paint the frog green, I think. And then let me paint this little froggy here green. Now you could get really elaborate because there's a lot of great detail on here. You could add multiple colors to really bring out all that detail. But for today, I'm just going to give it a quick paint in green. And just so we can get the idea of what it looks like. And that. So I'm just kind of gently painting it with my green chalk paint. And this is in the color Evergreen. So we're going to make him a nice green frog. Now the other thing you have to be careful is when you're painting your molds is not to put so much paint that you cover up all of those detail areas by filling it with paint. So just be aware of that. Now my plan is once this is all dried is to come in and put some dark wax on it so I can bring some of that definition back out. And I will show you guys that next weekend so you can see what it looks like with the dark wax on it. And it's all been dried and finish painted. But I wanted you to have some idea of what this looks like. So it won't be my best paint job, but it'll do for today. And I'll make sure it looks pretty for next Saturday. Doing things like this when you find items that you really like, but maybe the color isn't the right choice, don't be afraid to scoop those items up and then put your flair on it to make it fit for your decor. Lots of cute things out there that you can customize and make it so it fits for you. And I'll show you this frog here in just a second. He is so stinking cute. I just love this spring mold. It's such a good mold. Okay. All right. There, you get the gist. Look at our cute little green frog on our boot. Isn't he adorable? Like I said, there is so many, let me get him up close. There are so many great details in this frog that you could use multiple different colors and really, really go to town on that. So what color should I paint the salamander? Thanks, Miss K. I don't know. Is it weird for salamanders to be maybe this color? I don't know what color salamanders are. Can I paint him that color or this color? Or actually, you know what? We're not going to do that. We're going to paint him this color because I want the detail to come out with the wax. So that's right. Brownish green. We're going to use this, the same color we used for the boot, because I wanted to show you. Now I've had this jar literally closed for 2 minutes. I wanted to show you how easy it is. I forgot to bring definition to something that's all one color. So we're going to actually paint him the same color as the boot. And then next weekend, when you see the wax, you'll see how great it looks just using wax to define this gecko. That's what we're going to do. And I think you guys will be just amazed on how much definition you can get with just adding a little wax. That way we still keep him neutral looking. Okay. Almost forgot, but I still don't know what color geckos are. Salamanders can be any color you want. Oh my goodness. I love that. I might have to put a salamander on the boot with the frog. You never know. Next Saturday, you might have a salamander with the frog. Just because I love that teal color. Okay. Not sure what that is, but let's. Okay. All right. So there he is in the neutral color, the same color as the boot. And next Saturday, I will show you the finished product. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use clear wax first, because I always use clear wax before I add any dark wax like brown or black. So I will clear wax this whole thing first. And then I'm going to add the brown wax so you can see how cool it will look. And the definition and all the little details will come out in the salamander or gecko with that brown wax. Hi, Patricia. Welcome, welcome. And then I will add the clear wax, and then I'll probably add the brown wax as well to our little frog, so you can see all the definition in that. Okay, so those will be my next steps once the clay is dry. It's really too difficult to put the clear wax and dark wax on with the clay wet, because you will end up, because you have to kind of get it into those crevices, you will end up distorting your piece of clay. So it's very important that you wait until the clay has dried in order to add that wax. Okay, but what I wanted to show you, now that we've got that done, is how cute this will look with some flowers in it. Oops. Something just fell behind me. It's all good. Let me just cut a few of these stems off here. I have some tulips. And you can use any, maybe you have some silk flowers already kind of laying around at home that would be good for this. And you can just add them right into your little vase. But how cute is this? How cute is this little boot vase? There's some orange tulips in there. There's some, let me grab my other bunch of flowers here. Now these flowers I got at Walmart, and I really love them. So I got the tulips there. You could add just some greenery to your boot. So let me show you what that looks like. If you want just greenery. How cute is that little vase? You can make it your own. Put whatever you want in your little vase. Thanks, Miss Linda. Oh, you love my little salamander placement? Isn't he fun? He looks like he's crawling up your boot. And with the neutrals, I mean, how pretty are the tulips with the neutral? I mean, so just a great little vase, $3 at Target. I've added some chalk paint to it, some air dry clay, and I'll add some wax, and you've got yourself a customized little vase for your home that you can do pretty quickly and pretty easily. Isn't that adorable? How fun is that? So next Saturday, I will show you the vases once I get them waxed, so you can see how cute they are. All done up. Adorable. All right. That's it for today, my friends. Really quick, for those who may have not been here at the beginning of the video, I just wanted to share with you really quick that the paint inlays that we did last weekend, and we sealed them. I wanted to make sure I let everybody know how I seal my paint inlay, and I use a 50-50 flat top coat. Now you can use gloss or satin if you prefer. Doesn't have to be flat, but a top coat with water. And then I just fine mist spray whatever my paint inlay is, and that gives me a good seal on it. So that way I can go back and add a final top coat on it, or I can add wax. So that seals that paint inlay in the 50-50. Or Kay mentioned that she used Fixative by Sceptra
Art.
Sceptra Art.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fixative by Sceptra Art. You just want to use a spray to seal those paint inlays before you take a brush to them again and do any kind of final coat on them. But here's the ones that I did at the beginning, and they're already dried. So that's a good way to seal your paint inlays. So that's my last tip. And these are awfully cute. Go ahead. I'm back, friends. These are awfully cute. So stay tuned for next Saturday, and you can see the finished product and how fun these will be. All right, my friends, I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for joining me. I so appreciate you coming and spending time with me on Saturdays. It's always a lot more fun to craft with friends, so I appreciate it. Oh, you use the Fixative because you have it and it works. Well, that's great, though. It's great to know what other products also seal those inlays. So I appreciate your tip, Kay. That's what we're here for, right? To share and learn from each other. So don't forget, we have the Creators Corner. If you have a project you're working on, things you want to share, please feel free to go over there and add those. I love looking at them. You guys are so talented, and it's such a great inspiration. So thank you for sharing on that page. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I will see you next Saturday at 4 o'clock for another fun live, and to see how these finally turned out, all finished. And if you could do me a favor, make sure you're liking and following my page. And if you could share this video out to the universe, then we can get more creator crafty friends to join us, hopefully. The more the merrier. So thank you all for joining me today. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you have a good rest of your week. And stop by and say hi. I'd love to see you. All right, my friends, have a great week. Take care. Thanks for joining. Bye, friends. Bye, friends.